Hello, my name is SilverDarkPhoenix. This is my book opening of The Art of God of War 3. This is by Ballistic. And I have to say one thing. I haven't played any of the games. Any of them. Now, I have to point out is that the reasons why I buy these books as well as the collector's editions of games itself is because I have an interest in the art style, or I have an interest in certain methods that they went through to actually make the game. So I like to buy the actual collector's or the art book to show, if I buy, well, the reason why I bought Assassin's Creed, the collector's edition, is because of the collector's edition itself, not because of the game. The game was going to be crap. I know that now. So when I buy the collector's edition, I buy it for the nice collector's edition that you get, like the figurine, that kind of stuff. The same thing goes with the art book. I don't know anything about the art book itself apart from the artistic styles that they went through to get to this outcome, which is what you see here is Kratos. I don't know much about the story of God of War. I haven't played it, so I know it's kind of stupid that you buy an art book of a game that you haven't played. But if you kind of like the art style of a game, it doesn't mean you have to buy the game to like the art style. So I kind of buy the collectors or the art books of things to get the special kind of elements that come with it. Like most of the times in certain collector's editions, you get the art book that comes with it. But in most occurrences, which has been happening with Bethesda lately, a lot of their collector's editions don't come with an art book, which I kind of find is a bit disappointing. So at the front of this, you get Kratos here. This is the paperback. I don't know if it comes in a limited edition hardback. It might, but I'm not too sure about this. Ballistic does do other magazines and other kind of books, but I'm not too sure if they do the limited edition versions. I think I have seen an AIDS Odyssey. I think Ballistic was the one responsible for that. I'm not too sure. And that one had a hardback, and it comes in a limited edition format as well, which is signed and hand printed and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not too sure if this one has the same kind of limited edition version. So on the front you've got Kratos. On the side you have the art of game, the game itself, God of War 3, and then you have Ballistic, and then you have PlayStation on the back, on the side, and on the back you have a big picture of Kratos as well as the description of what the publishers has stated about this game. Sorry about the bell. Also, we have the Barcode. This book is quite a big book. I have to point out this is a ruler length. This is actually a ruler, a wooden ruler. So yeah, it's not going to bend. So if I go like this, it's going to be, it's roughly just shy of 30 centimeters, which is 12 inches by 22 centimeters wide. So it's actually quite a big book. So if you were going to buy this and you wanted to put it on your bookshelf, you have to have a big bookshelf, quite a long bookshelf, a quite tall one, because having a bookshelf that's about just shy of 12 inches is kind of, especially because this is paperback, this one bends very easily. So this could bend if you don't have something hard behind it, such as the wood itself or even another hardback book. This could bend and give you dog ears, quite literally. That's the only thing I kind of have a problem with this book at this moment. On there, you have to get this little sleeve-like thing, which has a pull kind of on the side here that shows other books that you might be interested from the publications. Then you have God of War. Just move it a little bit this way. Editorial. The writing is quite small. Yes, again, for such a big book, they make the writing very small. I think that's a way of making people make their eyes go towards the imagery more than the actual what the editor or forwarded person states, or what in the past they came up with and what they've put back into this book itself. So yeah, this is just a storyboarding the concept art. That's the same image that's on the back of the book. That's a Cyclops, I think. Yeah. The marketing, to tell you about what they did to manage the marketing. They must have spent, I think there's a lot of money being put into marketing. Like I say, I don't know much about the game itself, so you have to forgive me. I don't point things out and go, "Oh, that's that person or that person." So that's Poseidon, it says here. Poseidon's Leviathan. Hades? That doesn't look like the god of the underworld. Scorpius. Hercules. Hercules. That must be Zeus. A centaur. Harpies. Minotaur. Yeah, these are all, they give them the same names as the actual Greek mythology. Olympian archer. I thought the Olympian weren't meant to be like this. I thought they were meant to be kind of like heroes and kind of... Or is this because they've been changed or something? I don't know much about the game, so you have to forgive me. Cerberus. Back there, this is... Oh, I know, this is the guy who created the lightning bolts and stuff like that, the swords of the gods. The Chimera, the Cyclops, Hermes, Aphrodite, Deities. Pandora's in this, okay. I bought this book a couple of years ago, but I never actually went through it that much. I kind of buy a lot of books together when they're on a deal or on a sale. I kind of buy them together. I don't go through them that much, or I just look for it like a quick glance through them. I don't really read them or even look at them that much. I didn't have time to look through some of these books because, like I said, I'm moving from one place to another, so it's kind of hard. When you've got books, you have to pack them up and pack them away and actually not look at them much. This is the 3D building. That is the skin. How they wrapped the 3D model with the texture pack. It looks a bit like the Incredible. It looks like the Hulk a bit in this one here. He looks like the Hulk. Zeus. Satyr. I can understand those characters having masks over their face if they're actually Olympian, but being deformed like that is kind of weird, although he's definitely like that. The Cyclops. Who the hell is that? Gaia? The Titan Gaia. So is there's the other Titans as well. But I thought Kratos was a Titan that ate Zeus. It makes it's kind of weird. Dedicles. Gorgon. Well, that's obvious. Gorgon would be there. Crows. Ooh, that looks nasty. Izan. Is it Izion? Izion. These are the preliminary sketches of the enemies, or he could be wearing himself. These are the techniques that he could be using, or the enemies. I think it's his. Yeah, the different styles of the skills he could learn. Swords and daggers. Textures of the backgrounds. I think this is background. Props, yeah. So they go full into the architecture, as well as I think they get a lot of the inspirations from Greek paintings, as well as Greek kind of sculpture at the time, at the Colosseum, that kind of thing. The postman must really hate them. I mean, really, the postman must hate going to that. Oh no, the fucking postcard for Zeus. These pages haven't been turned in a while, so it's kind of hard to get them to be unstuck. The problem with these books, I think, is the biggest problem is the spine. These things are held down together with glues, I think, and if you pull in the wrong way, or you put the spine in the wrong way, you can actually break the spine in a certain way that you could actually lose some of the pages. It happened a lot to certain art books I've had in the past. I don't know if they've actually improved the glue or if they improved the way they attach this, but the worst ones were the ones that were stitched with cloth, kind of cloth webbing or some kind of stuff, and then they were glued, and then when you started moving the images across, the pages just came flying out, because the stitching didn't actually hold anything. So I'm not too sure if this book has the same issues. I hope not, because that would be a pain in the butt. There was a lot of art books in the past that had that problem. And a certain lot of books had that problem as well. I got a bit peed off about that. I think the very 1980s books that had that kind of problem. Because I remember opening up like an annual or something and then half the pages falling out. It's getting harder and harder to move the pages. I have to... Also the back is coming up now because all the weight is on one side. But this paper is very glossy. The light, as you can see, is shining off this. It's very glossy kind of painting, this kind of print. So it's almost like a photo print. So it's almost like photograph paper. But I noticed this printer company, Ballistic, they do mostly a lot of kind of photo, glossy kind of paper. So it's very shiny when you actually look into this stuff. But if you were doing like, if you're doing like a game or you're doing an art style or something that had to do with the Greek gods and stuff, I would, if you were doing an art studies, that kind of stuff, I would suggest getting this book. It would help see a different view upon the Greek legends in a way. But I think everyone knows that already because they have actually played the game, unlike me. So yeah, it just has an advert for Uncharted on the back. So yeah, this was The Art of God of War. I would have preferred a few more. I don't know what to say about this. I'm not very happy about the book itself. It has a good bunch of correlations of the game itself. Probably, I don't know much about the game itself, but I would have preferred to see more of Kratos himself. I would have been actually happy to see some poster art or something, or from the marketing themselves, not just saying marketing and just having two actual images and having a bunch of writing that says what they did with the marketing. I would have preferred to see more posters or what kind of art styles they did to get the trailer going. Not everything is in this. Most likely it was just a compilation of certain things that they would like to put in, but there's too much imagery of architecture and not enough imagery of the characteristics. There's a few, 1 or 2 pages that kind of dwell on the characters themselves. Some of the bosses, some of the choices of the boss is kind of strange. I would have preferred the boss to be, especially with Hades, I would have preferred Hades to be not without the mask. So I would have preferred an index page at the back that shows where you go to see the architecture, or where to go to see the weaponry, or where to go to see the characters themselves. So yeah, I would prefer to have seen, just like in many art books, more development in the characters. I like to see where they came from and how they decided to go in that direction. This book doesn't have that, but if you want a kind of a reference book, or you want to just see some artworks from the game itself, this is a good book to have. But I would have liked to have seen some of the artwork or posters or something that would appear in this, because they don't. It's kind of weird. There's only a few images of himself in this. It's kind of strange. So yeah, this is my book opening of The Art of God of War 3. My name is SilverDarkPhoenix, and I'll see you next time.